What up, gamers? Fence here, and welcome back to Frontline 2 Exilium. So, guys, before we resume the story here, I do have another announcement to make. Where, at the beginning of this whole anniversary patch, I did say that I was gonna maybe slow things down afterwards, but I think after more thinking about this game here, I think I'd rather just end the let's play for this game after this patch because first, I thought it would be a good point for me to do so. It's the anniversary patch. It kind of feels like I'm finishing up like the first game of it. So yeah, it's like when you finish like a version patch in the other gacha games like Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, where the next one kind of feels like maybe a new game, like a Genshin 2 or Wuthering Waves 2 for the next version. Like yeah, pretty much a sequel. Well, that's pretty much how I kind of maybe feel about this patch, at least because it's the anniversary. So, 1 year of me playing this game, I feel like that's a good point for me to maybe stop. And another reason why I'm stopping is because when it comes to me just doing the let's play for this game, I just, noticed that it felt very repetitive for the most part. Yeah, very repetitive, where it's just pretty much been me just reading the story, and these stories can be very very long. And when I first played this game, like after some reflection, like I first played this game because it was XCOM but with waifus. But the thing is, it just became more of a reading, like just reading a visual novel. And like the cutscenes in this game I would say has not been to my liking. I think at first it was pretty cool, where you also had like some cutscenes sometimes, like actual like CG cutscenes. But yeah, over time, some events they don't have voice acting. Sometimes they don't have any of those fancy CG cutscenes. But yeah, I just feel like for the most part it's just been me like reading the story, as well as just like auto battling the battles, and they're pretty much done within like so fast. I wish there was more gameplay that I can engage with. Because yeah, I could definitely do that if I want to, but like even playing in the heroic mode too, if I could maybe do it that way. But I kind of wish like the difficulty was kind of like how it was in the challenge mode, like especially at the end, because sometimes I would have to take manual control. Like that's I think the perfect amount of difficulty that I want. But yeah, for me, it just feels like it's either heroic mode is too hard where I can't, do it normally, even like when I try to play manually. Or that, yeah, just, I just pretty much one-shot everything. I just feel like it's kind of like, pointless for me to play the game normally. And all that I really do is just read the story. So, with those in mind, I feel like it'll be best if I, stop the Let's Play for this. And also, I guess one more reason for that, the reason why I'm doing this, it pretty much relates to like when I said I was gonna slow things down, is to make room for other games. And I just feel like right now, when it comes to Let's Plays, there's like a lot more future upcoming games, even gacha games included, that I'd rather play and feature on this channel. But that doesn't mean that I'll stop playing this game. I do want to play this game on my own. Maybe one day I'll come back to it, because we do have that past event tab over here, right? Maybe what I'll do is that when the story catches up here, if there's any of the past events that I miss, I can maybe play it through here this way. But yeah, for now though, I think at the very most, maybe it's just a hiatus. But yeah, I just don't feel like I want to keep on, with every patch, just keep on reading this. I'd rather maybe take it on my own pace, since, all I'm doing pretty much is reading, which is not the most exciting thing. And these cutscenes can be very long. Anyways, that's pretty much my little announcement rant for the first 4 minutes of this video. So yeah, like I said, in summary, I'm going to be stopping this Let's Play for this game after this patch, which pretty much is at the end of the story here. And once I reach here, that's it for me. Maybe I'll come back, do the past events whenever like the story does catch up, because I don't want to feel like, obliged to catch up with the story every now and then. But yeah, I guess that's also like the reason why I try to play these gacha games on time with every update, because there's also those limited banners, and that gives me some pressure too. Anyways, let's continue now. Let's go and try to finish this up within like this video and the next. A few days later, Kalina and her group have made their move. The documents have already passed to Heli. Hmm. That production line transferred to Gerard's didn't go to waste after all. I just realized the silhouette. Is that Zimmerman? Didn't he dress up like this? Like in the Intertwined Assault story? Chairman Rurik could have never imagined that, while he thought he held full control over third-gen doll technology, you had already, with its help, seized the lifeline of Odessa and the surrounding purification zones. He even took your dagger in his own hands and drove it right into his own heart. What the heck? I'm guessing that's I don't know what you call it, like a metaphor or something. Gerard has always handled the transport of the culture medium and knew of its cooperation with Paratus. Even if the medium later changed hands several times, Rurik must have realized it was doing with it, but urgency and arrogance dulled his senses. Now I finally understand why you and such FABN have always indulged the Gerard Group's requests. The lullaby was never meant for Odessa, and you are in sea alone. Even Chairman Rurik has fallen asleep without realizing it. Send a message to Rurik. Then tell it that preparations for the next periodic meeting must begin. I'll be bringing it the promised gift. Time to disturb the sweet dream of Odessa residents for a moment. Rurik receives a message from Cocoon, from which he finally learns the truth about the production line obtained from Sech FABN, and the indictment against the Gerard Group has passed Heli's review, soon to be filed in the Oblast court. Given the Gerard Group's previous contributions, its executives have not yet approved for detention, but they must report to the designated location within 6 hours to await trial. Additionally, refusal to appear within will result in a special task unit personally inviting you to attend, so please be mindful of your safety. Chairman Rurik? Reading the message word by word, Rurik explodes with fury. That production line was used for this? Such FABN, those rabid dogs. Cocoon! Where's Cocoon? Get in here! Cocoon! The secretary, who has always been at his beck and call, does not respond to his calls this time. Who the F is she? Rurik frantically dials the sequence of numbers on his terminal. Beep beep beep. The waiting tone methodically devours every shred of his patience, feeding his agitation and dread. Finally, the line connects. Apologies for the wait. Where the heck have you been? Get me Sech FABN's representative right now. Me? I just received notice from it that my reassignment to your support team has ended. Naturally, I'm returning to my original post. After all, a secretary can't serve two masters, can she? You were in on this from the start, weren't you? I wouldn't say in on it. I'm simply carrying out the assignments given by my superiors. And I did handle the task you entrusted to me, Chairman. Very meticulously, I'd say. You'll waste my time with nonsense. Without Gerard, the Lullaby project can't continue in Odessa. Target me, and it won't let you off the hook. Oh, and you can rest easy on that. As I said before, it will never abandon its plans for Odessa. The Lullaby project will proceed as intended. It's just that the lullaby can be sung by more than one voice, don't you think? You fools seem to forget who holds the third-gen doll tech and access rights. Oh, do we? I recall about 2 weeks ago. Yes, that night your data center was attacked. You so generously shared all the secrets with every core family. Noticing Cocoon's smug tone, Rurik rushes to check the system logs. Behind Cocoon's meticulous cover-ups, the hidden data now lies exposed. All third-gen doll restrictions have been lifted? And the access permissions. What did you do this? Instead of worrying about that, I suggest you focus on self-preservation. From what I've heard, the evidence Heli received directly implicating Gerard in criminal activity is extremely detailed. Once the trial begins, you're very likely to lose. And when you do, well, I'll let you think about what comes next. Consider that my final favor to you, as your former secretary. Bon voyage, Chairman Rurik. Cocoon hangs up on him. Rurik curses as he punches in several other numbers, but not a single call connects. Dang it! Bunch of backstabbing dudes. He hurls the communicator across the room. Then, after a few furious pants, picks it back up a few seconds later. I'll make you all pay for this. Just you wait. Rurik dials his driver's number. Hey, get my car out of the garage. I'm going to the airport. Rurik's private sedan speeds out of Odessa toward the private airfield in a satellite city. He tries again and again to call people, only to find that most of his contacts have already blocked him. Cowards, you were never shy about taking my money, but the moment there's trouble, you all vanished. Still seething, he scrolls through the contacts until his finger stops on one name. This one will pick up for sure. Is it Zimmerman? After a few seconds of the call tone, the line connects. Rurik's expression eases slightly. Oh, it's Fedya. Legislator Rurik. Major, you've got to help me. I've been framed. Then you should go to the designated location, appear in court as instructed, and wait for the verdict. No, they'll throw me in prison. They'll fabricate even more evidence, and I won't be able to defend myself. Major, you know what kind of person I am. Please, just delay the trial for a bit. I'll find proof that the Gerard group and I are innocent. If that's truly the case, following due process will still allow you to clear your name. Please entrust the authorities. I advise. Enough! Fed up with Major Fedya's calm tone. Fed up with Fedya. Rurik loses all patience. Don't forget what you owe me. Everything you've done these years. You, a poor wretch who's never seen a battlefield. How do you think you became a major? Who do you think made that happen? If I fall, you're going down with me. You're right. Once your crimes come to light, I won't escape punishment either. Good. You understand then. But that's just as well. What did you say? Odessa's prosperity doesn't need people like me. Stains never disappear. They're simply ignored by those who choose to look away. Legislator Rurik, I'm grateful for your past support and mentorship, but what I've seen recently has made it impossible for me to keep deceiving myself and turning a blind eye to Gerard's crimes. I'll stand with you and face judgment under the law. Wow, look at him, man. Fedya ends the call. Dang it! Such FABN, Cocoon, Fedya, Endo MFA, and all those psychophantic dudes. Never seen that word before. I won't let a single one of you get away with this. Rurik opens a hidden interface on his terminal, a manic grin twisting his features. You think Gerard's has been working all these years for nothing? You think you can stop me here? Dream on. I'll send every last one of you to join that idiotic former chief in heck. Laughing hysterically, Rurik slams the activation key. A dark red progress bar begins to crawl forward. Oh, that was it. Okay. This time we got a battle here. Okay. But yeah, I'll talk more about, like, you know, that whole thing I talked about at the beginning during the battles. But for now, let's continue the story. Fedya, clad in bulletproof vest and sat quietly in the Special Security Administration vehicle, stares down at his communicator. He listens to the low, steady hum of the engine. He knows he's heading out to hunt down his own benefactor. Gerard's crimes, Rurik's reaction, none of it surprises him. His mind remains calm, as it always does. He doesn't even remember when he became this numb. Convinced that he was protecting peace, preserving Odessa's prosperity, he has spent years justifying his blindness and cowardice. He figures he once falsified were like gray snow drifting through the images of the contamination zones. They slipped it through the filtration grids, piling up silently, freely, and he dismissed them all as nothing more than dust. Now the snow comes cascading down in an avalanche, bearing everything. All he's seen these past few days, the blood, the helplessness, forces him to face the truth at last. Fyodor Andreevich Sokolov has never truly understood anything, nor did he stand above all as he once believed. Is that his real name? His so-called tolerance has been nothing but ignorance because he has never walked it through the snow himself. A notification pops up on his communicator. Based on the conclusive evidence directly linking the Gerard Group to criminal activity, and given that its executives, including Chairman Rurik Gerard, have failed to appear in a designated location within the deadline, authorization is granted to arrest all senior Gerard personnel. The message drifts through Vidya's mind like a falling leaf, landing softly on the dark river within. He raises his communicator. All units, attention. Proceed with the arrest of the Gerard Group's senior executives. Move according to pre-assigned squad divisions. Leva, you'll lead the dolls in tracking down the Gerard Group's chairman, Rurik Gerard. His vehicle has been located. Coordinates have been synced to you. Got it. We're already closing in on this position near the satellite city. Here's to a smooth operation, Major Fedya. I'm counting on you. Fedya pockets the communicator, touches the Special Security Administration badge on his chest, and lifts his head. Move out. For Fedya, this may be his last mission he'll ever undertake as a major of the SSA. But that falling leaf steers the water at last. Elsewhere. The jeep bursts out of the side road, sirens blaring. Security automatons block traffic from the other directions, clearing a path for Leva's team. Leva, that's his car up ahead. He finally caught up with this slippery dude. Rebella, Lena, ready your weapons. Don't let him get away. Got it. Leave it to me. Rebella and Lena lean out of the windows, weapons raised. Leva slams the accelerator just as Rurik's car comes into range. A burst of gunfire tears towards the jeep. Lena, look out. Whoa. Leva jerks the wheel, swerving hard. Lena ducks back behind just in time as her side of the jeep scrapes past a roadside barrier. An ambush? What the heck? Aren't the roads supposed to be sealed? Illegal armed droids. Why are they showing up now? Quit complaining and take them down. Alright, here we go. But yeah, I guess if I were to summarize like what I said at the beginning, maybe a bit better. Yeah, pretty much the main one, I would say, the main point I'm stopping the Let's Plays because I want to make room for other games. Because this game here, like I think I still like this game. I'll definitely play it on my own time. I think the gacha in this game is really good. Like I feel like out of all the other games, I just feel like I had one of the better times in this game compared to some others. When it comes to the gacha. But yeah, when it comes to the Let's Play though, like it is just me like reading the cutscenes. I wish I was a bit more engaged in the gameplay. And I feel like stuff like that is only done like with the other game modes and not really within like the story itself. Like maybe at the beginning of the game where like I was still like under leveled, but because the event stories like they're so easy where as you just saw right now, like I just pretty much one-shot everything. I know I can play the heroic mode, but even with that, like I feel like in a way also I depend too much on the auto battle where I kind of forgot how to play the game and I just can't right now I don't really have time to like learn how to play my actual people. But yeah, I just wish it was a good balance, you know, where it does force me to play where I can learn as I do the Let's Plays. But yeah, I just never really found the time to really you know, I guess learn how to play the game properly when it comes to the more difficult game modes. Like I got the gist of their characters, but I guess I'm not making the most optimal decisions if I were to play manually. Anyways, the dolls make quick work of the rogue automatons, blocking their path, but Rurik's car has already vanished. Leva checks the tracker quickly. Back in the car, we can still catch him. The dolls scramble back into the jeep, but before they can resume pursuit, an emergency transmission from Kalina comes through. Leva floors the pedal and takes the call. We just caught up to Rurik, but we were ambushed by illegal combat units. The distance isn't too big yet. We can still catch up. Leva, abort pursuit immediately. Head to ODE-07. Leva frowns, but keeps her foot on the gas. Why? The Gerard Group's production and research systems were found to contain hidden backdoor programs. Rurik just activated them. So Gerard's droids are about to malfunction again? But we've already shut down a bunch of them after the last incident. It shouldn't be too bad, right? Most of the shutdowns last time were security units. This time, the scale may be much wider. Exactly. I've received reports that Gerard-made automatons across Odessa are suffering massive system failures. Even several factories they helped build are experiencing production malfunctions. Also, Gerard has stored illegal armed automatons in warehouses across Odessa. Reports confirm they've they've now activated, spreading across chaos across throughout urban areas. So the ambush wasn't an isolated case? No. All local security forces in the satellite cities are being deployed to maintain order, but ODE-07 has the highest concentration of the rogue droids. You're the nearest combat specialist unit. Get there immediately and assist. What about Rurik? It's obvious he's creating this chaos to buy himself time to escape. If he makes it out of Odessa, we'll never get him back. A new SSA task force has been dispatched to take over your pursuit. Airspace interception is already underway. The droid malfunctions and system failures are all cooked up by Gerard. Can Gerard's own engineers clean up this mess themselves? The executives we detained already surrendered the shutdown keys and backdoor source codes, but none of them work. The chaos hasn't stopped. So the keys aren't valid, or the codes are wrong. We don't know yet. The technicians are still investigating. At present, the Odessa Oblast government has lost control of vast numbers of automatons and facilities, including the Selene power plant in ODE-07. Helen, that's the one that... Yes, it was authorized for new energy research. Large collapsed particle contaminant things were buried beneath it, with local government approval. You're not about to tell me those dangerous things are about to blow, are you? I wish I weren't. But the plant systems and infrastructure are all built by the Gerard Group. Because of the backdoor activation, defector engines are still running at full overload and can't be shut down. If the engines overheat and trigger a generator explosion, those tanks will. The power plant has already requested emergency aid. You're to head there immediately and assist local PSA and technical personnel in resolving the crisis. For Pete's sake, how many nuclear blasts does it take before humanity learns? Leva makes a sharp turn, and the Jeep veers decisively toward a new direction. We're heading for ODE-07 right now. Callan, the fact that Gerard's programs have unpatchable backdoors and that the termination keys for their rogue machines don't work well, I suspect foul play. Do you remember that mysterious doll we encountered in the server room? Her electronic warfare capability was exceptional. The destruction of the server room and the ensuing chaos were also tied to her. If she's also behind this incident, it's going to be hard to resolve. I understand. The Oblast government has already issued orders to assemble all mechanical units with high combat capability that were not manufactured by Gerard, as well as all technical personnel. Reinforcements will soon arrive at all satellite cities, including ODE-07. At the same time, the Oblast government has determined that the Gerard Group's actions constitute outright treason against Odessa. The counterinsurgency operation has been codenamed Operation Azister. Its objective: to completely suppress the Gerard Group and its legal armed automatons, restoring law and order to Odessa. As for whether it will succeed, Kalina pauses briefly. We'll just have to give it everything we've got. Callan, what about the residents and the wounded in ODE-07? All underground shelters in ODE-07 has been opened. I'm leading NOMFA's armed forces there myself to assist local security in evacuating civilians and the injured. Huh? You're going to ODE-07 yourself? Yes. If the Selene power plant explodes, the collapsed particles stored in the containment tanks will spread with the blast, and the protection provided by underground shelters will drop sharply. Even without that danger, large-scale combat between automatons could easily cause collateral damage. Everyone in ODE-07 who isn't involved should be evacuated right now, shouldn't they? The feasibility of an evacuation is still being discussed by the Oblast government. Is that even up for debate? The chaos has already blocked most of ODE-07's air and sea routes. The land routes across the Odessa Bay Bridge would force evacuees close to the White Zone. Most of the ODE-07's evacuees are infected with ELID. If they approach Odessa, the collapsed radiation levels in the city could rise, risking another ELID outbreak. So they sealed off the bridge. Temporarily, is what they told me. That's practically a death sentence for everyone on the island. Crossing the bridge by force isn't so simple either. Due to the sudden escalation of the security threat, the turrets on the Odessa's fixed quarantine walls are about to go fully active. The Odessa Bay Bridge is a double tower, double capable suspension bridge, structurally fragile, easily damaged by the stray fire. To preserve the bridge for future evacuation and reinforcements, and to prevent enemy units from breaking through toward Odessa, the government has narrowed the bombardment range along the bridge and shifted firepower to the coast between the bridge and the city. What if the evacuation convoys try to cross the bridge now? They'll need heavy escorts, and they'll still risk getting caught in a stray bombardment once they descend. So, we just wait? Legislator Zimmerman is pushing hard to finalize the evacuation plan, and Director Krieger is applying pressure as well. For now, all we can do is help the local authorities contain the chaos, prevent widespread panic, and protect the people in ODE-07. I've ordered Sopo to go straight into ODE-07, but with the train shut down, she's now waiting for UAV transport. She'll join you later. Leave Elena, Robella, I'm counting on you. Callan, you better be careful too. I hope we can all see each other again. I'm sure we will. But yeah, if like the, maybe the gameplay and cutscene ratio was more on the gameplay, maybe I would have continued. But even so, like, the cutscenes are very long in this game. I just wish I was having more. I was at least seeing maybe more gameplay, at least the in-game, like actual like the 3D game, and not like the 2D visual novels. Rurik steps out of the car and strides toward his private jet, already prepared for takeoff. Move faster, dang it! He steps away the umbrella the driver offers and steps into the rain. His steps are hurried. He lets the drops fall freely on his carefully groomed hair. Welcome aboard, Mr. Rurik. Rurik doesn't stop. He gestures for the driver to pass over his briefcase. Then he walks straight up the stairs without looking back. The cabin door closes. After a short taxi, the plane slowly lifts off. Watching the building shrink beneath him, Rurik finally exhales in relief and sinks into his seat. Sir, perhaps you'd like to change out of your coat and dry your hair? Yes. Rurik nods, removes his coat, and gazes out the window until the smoke and fire below turn into tiny specks into his view. I feel like something's gonna happen on this plane, man. Like, there's probably someone on this plane that's like a double agent, I don't know. Or probably sneaked in here. Or they're going to, like, I don't know, have like jets fire upon this plane. Or maybe some turrets, some anti-air stuff. He accepts a glass of champagne from another crew member, takes a sip, and closes his eyes, enjoying a gentle towel wiping his hair. What if that champagne was poison? You Odessite fools, as long as Gerard stands, you live in paradise. Without Gerard, all that awaits you is heck. The crew member's hand pauses for a moment at Rurik's outburst, then continues wiping. If only they were like you, aware of who truly deserves reverence, things wouldn't have come to this. Yes, sir. Why are you shaking? Once you get me out of Odessa, you'll never have to worry about your future again. A dull thud breaks Rurik's calm. He opens his eyes, irritated. What the heck are you? The curse freezes into his throat. The soft fingertips that had gently massaging his scalp through a towel has been replaced with a cold steel. Now it's my turn to serve you, Rurik Gerard. A familiar voice speaks behind him. Darcher, you... Oh wow. Darcher presses the gun against his head and steps around to face him. You didn't really think you could still order me around, did you? Looks like Cocoon has done a pretty thorough job reprogramming your neural cloud. Rurik glances at the crew member lying motionless nearby, then pretends to glare at Darcher in anger while signaling subtly to another crew member emerging from the cockpit. That has nothing to do with her. I would willingly erase most of my records. It is regrettable, however, how the habits you program into me still linger, except when it comes to dealing with you. Darcher keeps the gun steady, her other hand clutching her chest. There's no trace of your ugliness or folly here, but the fire of disgust still burns bright. Give up your pathetic little schemes. You won't get a response, except perhaps a hymn as your life fades away. You dude, what do you even gain from signing with such FABN? Don't forget who... Bang. Look at that little gunshot animation. A gunshot rings out. Bright red stains spread across the wool carpet in the cabin. The one who orchestrated the mechanical chaos dies by a mechanical unit's gun. The audience will find this ending most satisfying. Now forever hold your peace. Darcher ignores Rurik's cooling body, turning instead to the other crew member, the person who has already shed their uniform jacket, revealing bionic skin that can only be found on a doll. Oh snap! Who's this? Like, do you have an extra pair of arms? She kinda looks cool. Cocoon has successfully delayed the sealing of the back doors. The Odessa government won't be able to regain control of most automatons and facilities for the time being. Next, I'll coordinate with her to amplify the chaos that Rurik Gerard set in motion. She has sent you your next orders as well. Darcher checks the message, then lets out a theatrical sigh. So I don't get an invitation to the next banquet. What a shame. Please kindly drop me off somewhere along the way. No problem. I've preloaded the command. The aircraft will descend to a safe altitude in 20 seconds. Much obliged. Then allow me to take my leave. Darcher opens the cabin door. A blast of wind tears through the cabin, scattering the other doll's hair. The doll gestures toward Rurik's lifeless body slumped on the ground. And what about him? A devil from Heck should return to Heck. Throw him out, whether it's the churning river of blood or the concrete forest below. Either can be his grave. Right. Then, dear comrades, I entrust Odessa into your care. Give it the grandest feast imaginable. Even if I cannot attend, I will watch the lights from afar. Do not disappoint me. With that, Darcher curtsies deeply, and falls backward and vanishes into the rain. I just realized, what if that's Groza? Because we saw like them talking about it at the Intertwined Assault at the beginning. Imagine if like that pilot was Groza, but maybe a more evil type. And they talked about like a clone, right, of Groza. I can maybe see that. Alright, next one here. Leva's team arrives at the Selene power plant. As expected, the site is in total chaos. The security automaton still functioning normally, and PSA personnel are fighting to hold back waves of illegal combat units. Weaving through gunfire with quick, precise movements, the dolls make their way to the Special Security Administration Officer coordinating with the defense. NO MF8 auxiliary dolls, Eva, Lena, Robella, reporting for duty. Acknowledge. Miss Leva, Miss Cullen, and Major Fedia have instructed me to send you immediately to the central control room and assist the technicians with the system malfunction. We'll handle things and gunfire. Watch out! Lena tackles the officer out of the way as the drone explodes overhead, crashing exactly where he'd been standing. It was hit by an illegal armed automaton. The young man, who seems composed and professional just a moment ago, finally betrays his age. He peers dazedly at the still spinning rotors, still half in shock. Thank you. Lena, you stay here. Abella and I will head to the control room. Huh? Okay. Leva, be careful. You too. Leva and Robella rush into the central control room, where several technicians are frantically at work. No good. The backdoor patch failed. The system is still under attack. Shutdown commands aren't executing. Our computing power can't keep up. Optimize the algorithm. Try again. We have to stop the engine. We've already tried several times, but there's no progress at all. Every time we fix it, it gets overwritten immediately. So someone really is pulling the strings from behind the scenes. This is bad. Leva steps forward with a frown. Auxiliary dolls from NO MFA, Leva and Robella, here to render support. What's the current situation? Finally, the cavalry's here, actually. The technician explains the crisis at the power plant. So, most of the generators have been reclaimed. The ones connected to the vector engines are still out of control. Yes, originally, all generators here were part of a unified installation years ago, and most control authorizations rested with the Oblast government. But after the new energy research began, 2 large generators were repurposed and rebuilt for secondary development, and the control systems were isolated. The Gerard group handled most of that work. So the Gerard group left back doors in those two generator rooms, or systems. Judging by the situation, yes. Those back doors are nearly impossible to seal. We're trying to reclaim partial control, at least enough to activate the cooling systems and push output to the maximum. But to fully regain control, if the electronic means don't work, what about a physical shutdown? Impossible. The former chief was worried about sabotage causing the safety incident, so he specifically rebuilt the generator rooms for those two units. The isolation gate is currently locked. To open it, several authorized personnel must be physically present to verify their biometrics simultaneously. Have you contacted them? We have, but with comms and transport in shambles right now, some can't be reached, while others are still on their way. The generators inside are still already unstable. Forcing entry into the building would be too dangerous, but judging by the fight out there, it'll be too late by the time everyone gets here. Not to mention, those who are missing could be. Rebella trails off, unable to voice the grimmer possibility. Continue handling the back doors and work to regain system control. Rebella, let's access level 2 and check the security system for the isolation gates. Understood. Alright, that's the battle here. Every time I hear level 2, whoa, what is this? T-0223? This machine looks very weird. Diva, do you have any information on it? Let's see. This is a mammoth, isn't it? Do you see the dozer blade attachment on its front? The malfunction piece of exploratory equipment combines demolition, siege, and protection capability into a single unmanned ground vehicle. Fortunately, I know how to deal with it. Got it. We'll support you. So take care of it ASAP. Oh, that's the one there. Okay, it just looks like a normal, like, transport vehicle. Just how big is it? I mean, yeah, it does look pretty big. But I feel like the Boojums have been bigger than that. Or some other enemies. Alright, let's go. But yeah, I still like the game, like I said, overall. I'm still gonna play it on my own time. It's pretty much what I do with like Honkai Star Rail and DK. Like, even though I don't really play them on the channel anymore, I still play them on my own time. And like I said, the gacha in this game has been one of the better ones for me, from like my experience. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Oh, they just wait for them to appear. I thought maybe I need to like manually play this. There we go. Leva and Rebella examine the security systems for the area around the isolation gate. The design is quite solid, but still a bit behind the government security systems. In principle, all systems used by the URNC network are supposed to be built and managed under Heli's unified architecture, which ensures system-wide security. Why would the former chief develop a new security system just for this facility? To use the government systems, he would have needed upper-level approval. Perhaps there was interference somewhere. You mean Heli was compromised? I can't move forward to dialogue. Hello? Oh no. Spam the button way too much. I'm not sure. Maybe the former chief suspected that too, which is why he designed an independent security system for the isolation gates instead of letting the Joar group handle it. It's probably one of the few areas where he still had direct authority. Right. It'll be hard to break through, but since Rurik wasn't involved, there shouldn't be any backdoors planted. Now that the power plant's level 2 has switched to local mode, even that mysterious hacker can't interfere with a backdoor-free system. That means we can break through without outside disruption. There are 5 layers of access authentication locks. It won't be easy to crack. But this is our best opening yet. Let's disconnect for now and coordinate with the technicians. If reinforcements arrive smoothly and we push hard, we can finish this in a few hours. Oh, is that it? Let me check something. I feel like we've been doing a lot of levels. How much do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, still plenty. Let's keep on going. Hurry, this way. Get in the truck. Standing in the rain and dressed for combat, Kalina helps a patient climb into an armed transport. I kind of want to see the outfit of Kalina dressed for combat. Just 100 meters from her position, the non-military forces administration's armed units and ODE-07 security forces are in fierce combat with illegal automatons. Kalina wipes the rain from her face and gazes into the northeast with a frown. Just moments ago, a nearby District 2, 2 blocks away, was bombed. That was the temporary command post for the refugee escort forces. Since that bombardment, she has lost all contact with Lieutenant Colonel Groff, the commander of the evacuation operations. Suddenly, Callan's terminal bleeps. She immediately opens the channel. This is Kalina, Senior Counselor of the Non-Military Forces Administration. Go ahead. This is Major Vasily, Frontline Commander of ODE-07. Counselor Kalina, we just received word. Lieutenant Colonel Groff, Commander of the Evacuation Forces, went missing 10 minutes ago during the latest bombardment. Even though she expected it, Kalina clenches her fist. We urgently need a new commander for the refugee escort units, but the situation is in pure chaos. The fighting's intense, reinforcements haven't arrived, and we're severely short on officers. Everyone's tied up at the front lines. Counselor, if you could, please temporarily take command of all rear evacuation operations, coordinate resources, direct personnel, and lead civilians and patients safely into shelters. Understood. I'll do everything I can to protect the evacuees. Thank you for your cooperation. Vasily immediately transmit the authorization to all escort forces. All field reports begin streaming to Kalina, who swiftly assumes control of the evacuation logistics. The comms channel crackles with the constant roar of gunfire. Calling Escort Team 5. Calling Escort Team 5. This is Kalina. Report your status. Ma'am, we're about 800 meters away from the designated shelter. We've lost around 30% of personnel and automatons, but we can still move. Good. Keep those transports rolling. Shelter Unit 7, move to the coordinates now and assist Team 5 with their escort mission. Uh-oh. Another explosion. The sharp blast draws Kalina's attention. Through the rain, 2 tall buildings have collapsed. Counselor, our route's been blocked by debris. We had to detour. ETA? Insufficient data for a new route. We can't give an accurate estimate. Preliminary calculation. Over 40 minutes. Got it. Lead your team around and pick up the pace. Yes, ma'am. Kalina looks anxiously toward the embattled front line, not far away. Troops crouch behind makeshift barricades and riot shields as bullets from illegal automatons kick up dust and sparks. Down drones and T-dolls lie scattered. Oh wow. Wait, they even brought T-dolls too? Wow. I kind of wish I saw them too. I want to see like other T-doll designs that are not like the main characters, because maybe they're a bit more generic looking. Okay. Oil mixed with rainwater streaming down the street. Dark liquid that, in Kalina's eyes, look almost blood red. Where are those reinforcements? She knows there's nothing she can do. All combat teams are scattered across ODE-07, stretched too thin to redeploy. A harsh beam cuts through the rain. Another transport returns after dropping off the latest batch of wounded. Kellen straightens up. Next troop, move! Kellen helps the patient to the rear of the vehicle, but instead of an empty compartment, 2 strong arms reach out and haul the weak patient inside. Sit further in. Mr. Pavel. Pavel finishes helping the patient, then jumps down from the truck, followed by more than a dozen PMC operatives and Railway Corps soldiers. You help a lot. You help load the wounded first, then form up here. Chop chop. Hey, the Railway Corps are here, and you're still barking orders. Quit the chatter and get to work. Alright. Come on, all evacuees this way. The seriously injured first. If you can still walk, lend a hand. Don't just stand there like statues. The PMC and Railway Corps troops move efficiently, speeding up the entire evacuation process. Pavel weaves through the crowd, wiping water from his face as he reaches Kalina. Miss Kalina, we talked it over on the way back and decided to come help. We might not be trained soldiers, but we can at least support you. He pats the rifle slung on his shoulder with pride. You're also recovering. You shouldn't be on the battlefield. A war doesn't care if you got a fever or a toothache. If you can move, you fight. I'm grateful for your courage. She hesitates. The existence of the collapsed particle contaminant tanks is classified. Knowing the real danger that ODE-07 poses, Kellen doesn't want to drag civilians into this. But you all have families. Please, go to the shelters first. I just spoke with Alina. They're safe and being protected. Since I can't leave ODE-07 anyway, and someone's looking after them, then I'll protect others instead. It's the same thing. Odessa's burning all over. I finally get it after seeing this mess. Burning doesn't bring peace. Someone once put down the dudes for me. Now it's my turn to repay that debt. I like that, might as well make use of his time here since he's trapped. The news about ODE-07 has spread. Even our tight-fisted boss, hiding out in another satellite city, said to use all the weapons we brought. No charge. Don't hold back, Counselor. Just give the order. Understood. Mr. Bevel, all PMC and Railway Corps units, please assist us in protecting the transports and ensure the wounded are safely evacuated. Under Kalina's command, the PMC operatives and the Railway Corps soldiers charge into the battlefield. On the public comms channel, more and more people volunteer to join the fight and help residents and the wounded reach the shelters. Another truckload of patients is filled. Kalina walks up to the driver's side. These evacuees are bound for shelter number 8. Please make sure they arrive safely. After confirming the destination with the driver, Kellen switches the comms channel. Shelter number 8. Shelter number 8. This is Kalina, commander of the evacuation forces. A new group of evacuees will arrive in about 30 minutes. Prepare to receive them immediately. But please wait, Counselor Kalina. Is there a problem? Shelter number 8 is full. What? There was just an air raid nearby. So many wounded were brought in. The medical staff are still giving emergency treatment. We really can't take any more people. This is kind of crazy. Like, these are all just like malfunctioning robots by Gerard, right? Like, they can cause this much damage. It's kind of like crazy to see. Understood. Shelter number 6-7. Can either of you still receive evacuees? We're full as well. Same here. All shelter evacuation points and transport supervisors, send me the current headcount of your assigned areas immediately. In less than 30 seconds, messages come flooding in. All the shelters are full. This is something Kalina has expected. ODE-07, with its small population, has fewer and smaller shelters than most satellite cities. But after the recent elite outbreak, a huge number of wounded have been sent here for treatment. The island's population has long exceeded its capacity. It's just that everyone, consciously or not, has been avoiding this truth. No one has the time to think about who truly deserves to hide inside these places that might not even offer any real protection. On the comms, all units are urging Kalina to make a decision and give the order. Amid the noise, Kalina tears off her headset. In that case, the only choice is to... She looks at the Odessa Bay Bridge on the map. It should have been the route to survival for everyone, but now it's a line of isolation barrier stands across it, blocking all passage. Forcing a way through will take considerable effort, and stray bullets could hit us, but if we stay here, exposed on the street, people will die anyway. If it were you, you'd make the same call, wouldn't you? Commander. Kalina steels herself and puts her headset back on. All units, proceed! A deafening rush of air drowns out her words. A large military helicopter descends, its mounted guns roaring to life, tearing down several illegal automatons circling nearby. That's... The helicopter hovers lower, its downwash scattering the rain. Through the cleared curtain, Kellen finally sees the emblem painted on the fuselage. The Special Security Administration. Ropes drop down. Major Fedya, heck yeah, and several SSA officers slide rapidly to the ground. Upon landing, Fedya scans the area, quickly spotting a small, rain-soaked figure. He strides over to Kalina and salutes sharply. Major Fedya of the Odessa Special Security Administration, leading a unit to provide support. I am here to assume command of ODE-07's Frontline. But before that, Legislator Zimmerman specifically instructed me to confirm your safety first. Miss Kalina, we thank you and the Non-Military Forces Administration for your service to the Odessa Oblast. This situation is urgent, and to prevent comms interception, we didn't send advance notice of the reinforcements' arrival. My apologies. We can leave the pleasantries for later. Major Fenya, ODE-07's underground shelters are completely full, while the remaining civilians and wounded urgently need safe evacuation. I believe we have no other choice but to cross the Odessa Bay Bridge to evacuate. As senior counselor of the NOMFA administration, I'm formally requesting the Odessa Oblast government to open the bridge immediately. Kalina's tone is firm. Raindrops cling stubbornly to her lashes. Understood. That's exactly the message Legislator Zimmerman asked me to deliver. Councilor Kalina, the Odessa Oblast government requests the continued assistance of the NOMFA, or the Non-Military Forces Administration, to help all non-combatants in ODE-07 safely cross the Odessa Bay Bridge and evacuate to other regions. The White Zone of City of Odessa is ready to receive them. Wonderful. You have NLFA's full cooperation. Good. The SSA combat units will arrive in waves to ensure all evacuees leave ODE-07 safely. Until the situation stabilizes, command of the evacuation forces remains in your hands. Continue directing the operation as you see fit. Also, Vidya lowers his voice. Some technical team dispatched by the Oblast government has safely reached the Selene power plant. Some combat automatons have already arrived, with follow-up reinforcements en route. That's great news. Kalina smiles faintly. She immediately grabs her terminal and transmits the good news that the bridge to the mainland is open. Moments later, a voice spreads across the sky through helicopters in the few surviving broadcast towers in the city. Attention, all ODE-07 residents. The route to the mainland is now open. Follow instructions and evacuate in an orderly manner. Within 5 hours, everyone will be able to cross the Odessa Bay Bridge. Odessa and other satellite cities will provide you with shelter. I repeat. Meanwhile, in the rear command zone, Vidya studies the synchronized enemy map and outlines his initial battle plan. Pavel, who has been ordered off the front lines to evacuate, runs up beside him, craning his neck to peek at the map. SSA Squad 3, take the shortest route from the west. Major Fedya, wait a second. What is it? Don't send everyone west. Dispatch a few agile small droids through this narrow street southwest, right here. Fedya eyes Pavel skeptically, but gestures for him to continue. I spotted it when I was driving the transport earlier. The illegal automatons in this area are big and slow to turn. They don't watch their backs. That squad can circle around them from their rear flank and blow off their treads. You fought large automatons before. Not large ones, but I have taken out a few armored vehicles. But you know, the quickest way to stop a heavy vehicle is to wreck its wheels. Same logic. It's not a standard tactic you'll find in a textbook, sure, but you'll only lose a few small units if you fail. The battle will end faster if you succeed. I see. Get back into your transport. You have 3 hours to evacuate. Right, I'm going. Pavel jogs 5 or 6 meters away, then stops again. He scratches his head with a sooty hand, and calls out to Fedya's back. Major, what's wrong about you? You may have not fought in the front lines, but you have been leading the SSA and protecting my family all this time. Thank you. Please come back safe. I'll buy you dinner after this. Fedya doesn't turn around, and Pavel doesn't dwell on it. He breaks into a run toward the retreating convoy. SSA Squad 3, dispatch 5 light high firepower droids through the southwest flank. Target the joints of the large illegal automatons. All other combat units hold position on the western street. Fedya lifts his gaze toward the faint orange glow flickering across the bay through the rain, the light of battle. But he knows that beyond the smoke, countless household lights are waiting for those still fighting to come home. Then, over the comms, he adds, "We will complete the mission and return safely." 2 hours later. Which, you know what? I think we'll continue this next time. So, we'll resume this at this point where Kalina, now stationed at the Odessa Bay Bridge. It will continue from here next time. In next video, I'm going to try to finish everything up. So, yeah, look forward to that. And yeah, I'll be done with this Let's Play. You know, overall, like, the game is not bad. I still like it. But I feel like as a Let's Play, I just wish I can experience more gameplay than the story here. Because yeah, I've been just reading a lot. Which is why sometimes, you know, I try to go fast when I read. I mean, just in general, I'm like a fast reader. And sometimes that does make me, you know, speak badly because of that. But yeah, I just wish it was more, gameplay, maybe I would have like still continued, but yeah, I just don't feel like always reading every time when it comes to this game. I want to also like see the gameplay as well. And I feel like the other games provide that more than this one here. Yeah, I feel like with this game, it's been like the most visual novel like when it comes to the cutscenes and dialogue. So yeah, I think I feel like for me, not like what I wanted for Let's Play, unless I play a fully visual novel game like Doki Doki Literature Club, then yeah, I would maybe do that. But I also want to experience the gameplay too, so that's another reason why I'm like stopping gameplay here for this channel. Anyways, I'll stop now. I'm like losing my voice. Anyway, guys, yeah, look forward to the last video, the next video. So yeah, that'll be for now. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good